It is back to the hottest series out right now, Shogun on FX, a story told in 1600s Japan where power has not been consolidated and thus the struggle for total control has united four regents against one. In episode 3, we saw how Toranaga orchestrated his escape from his prison in Osaka, hiding in the woman-only carriage before fleeing on the back ship. In episode 4, he finally makes his way to Izu, a village controlled by Yabushige, his very much two-faced vassal. Preparations are made and Toranaga is greeted with a large 1,000-man salute before making his way off to an undisclosed location where Yabushige is kept out of the loop once again. Like we said earlier, friends close, enemies closer, and Yabushige is as close as an enemy could get without being implicitly outed and killed for his betrayal. Yabushige is sitting a little because heavy preparations were made for Toranaga's arrival, but he immediately leaves after being greeted by the village. Welcome back to the Bootleg Corner. This is Movie Review Hours and we are reacting to Shogun episode 4 that dropped on Monday. Now, John Blackton's elevated status has earned him a house and a consort, a gilded cage, but still quite better than his previous lodgings in Izu village. His consort has just had her husband and child taken away from her through seppuku, and no period of grief is allotted. She simply has to carry on. Blackton is adjusting to his circumstances and the ceremonies of a Japanese household while being asked to train Yabushige's samurais in the foreign out of war. They want unknown foreign tactics if they are to have any chance at winning the coming war. Yabushige is at crossroads here and agendas are still flying. Now, Omi is privy to Yabushige's treachery, is in support of it, and they are still stumped as to finding Toranaga's spy in the village. While Blackton trains the men in cannon placement and shooting, Omi reminds Yabushige that the men are still under his control even as they serve Toranaga. Their open discussion of this betrayal at night in Kisu's presence as she plays the harp lets me know that she is in on the planning. After she's making suggestions that Omi could become the lord of the village in Yabushige's absence, and where that places Yabushige in this equation is not discussed, and we are once again reminded that it is indeed a game of friends and enemies. Now a message comes from Ishido. Yabushige has been invited to Osaka to explain his fleeting loyalties, but Yabushige wasn't born yesterday. He knows going to Osaka is a death warrant for him and instead invites Josen to watch the arms demonstration and carry word back to the regents. The budding romance between Mariko and Blackton finally comes to fruition in this episode, as I previously predicted earlier on, even though some of the audience are unhappy with the sequence of events where she reads his journal detailing his nefarious acts as a pirate, sacking multiple cities, and then makes the decision to sleep with him in the same day. Maybe we can rationalize her actions as her effort to win Blackton over to Toranaga's side more steadfastly amongst her underlying feelings for him. But then her husband had just died or appeared to be so in the previous days, so this action, while perhaps distasteful, is not unexpected. Nagakado, Toranaga's son, is one waiting in the wings for any bit of responsibility and respect. His father has this in abundance, while he is looked at as an afterthought and unimportant. He plans to remedy this though, and his line of action is one I could see from a mile away. Messengers from the regents who oppose his father with a few soldiers for support while his father is away at the time. I mean, what better way to stamp his claim and reintroduce himself as someone to reckon with? Yabushige, Omi, and most of the men have no idea what is about to go down, but Josun and company are the recipients of heavy shots from the cannon, which tears them into near pieces, after which any survivors are put to the sword. One singular act has taken the war status from impending to immediate. Killing the messenger is heavily frowned upon across all cultures in every era, and Nagakado has just plunged Japan into a civil war, while Toranaga's men are 6 months behind schedule, and we are in for an explosion when Toranaga learns of this, as well as the response from Ishido and the regents. Now, something else I will want to discuss is the trend we've seen in this movie and either ignored or wondered about it: the feet shuffle. Japanese women in this movie do not take strides. Rather, they shuffle their feet, putting one foot bare centimeters in front of the other as they walk. Their legs and toes are also pointed inwards, and so they walk at a slow pace. Now, I went online, looked through some articles and opinions which are varying to see the reasons for this. Some imply they do it to look cute. Some say it is a sign of respect to announce their presence as their feet drags on the floor, and thus no one is surprised by their presence. Another article suggests it is a method for maintaining balance and showing off the kimono to its best advantage. It explained that the kimono restricts extensive leg movements, as evidenced by this poster here, who states that his sister tripped and fell in her attempt to maintain normal strides in her kimono. This article also backs up this claim and suggests that walking at a steady pace also helps maintain the kimono smooth lines, and it is no danger of becoming loose or tacky. To this day, some Japanese and other Asians walk in this way without the restrictions of the kimono, so in a way, a necessity has become a tradition and fashion. In episode 5, we should expect Toranaga to hear of Nagakado's madness, his return, and the response of the regents. Will Nagakodo be punished for this, and can Toranaga afford to do so? The die has been cast in that matter, and I think war is next on the agenda. Yabushige has been forced to pick a side, and Toranaga's is the only one where his life isn't immediately at stake. With the added actions of Nagakado, it is not looking good at all. Omi has a thought planted in his head, and we will see if that germinates into something serious. Blackton and Mariko are also another one to watch. This is still the Bootleg Corner. Don't forget to subscribe, check out our other content, keep it locked in, and we will be back.